yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. Well, today's video is Friday Fun Day, and I have a really fun and easy project for us to make today. This is a crochet basket that you hang on the door or on the wall. You can fill it with flowers, add a bow, and it's super easy and super beautiful. I love it because you can change the flowers out for any holiday. Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, weddings, anything that you want to decorate with flowers. It's so much fun to do. You can change out your bows, and it's a really simple project. We make the basket out of 2 strands of a medium weight number 4 yarn, but we'll talk more about yarns in just a minute. Isn't that just gorgeous? I picked up these flowers at Ollie's of all places. It has this beautiful little butterfly. Isn't that cute? Well, anyway, you can find the complete pattern with pictures and notes on my blog. And as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. All right, let's talk about yarn first. So the yarn I have here is the Premier Just Yarn in the Goldenrod color. And I chose this color because I think this color will work great for any holiday, anytime I want to change out my florals that I put in there. It's a nice color, but you could use any color that you want that goes with, of course, your decorations. And we are going to be holding 2 strands of medium weight number 4 yarn together. And you're going to need a total of about 8 ounces, okay? And we are going to be holding 2 strands together, and I wanted to do it this way because I think it's going to make a nice sturdy basket for our door or wall. We're going to be using a K-hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. You need a needle for weaving in your ends, of course, and a pair of scissors. Now let's talk about all the other things that we're going to need. Now, I purchased these wooden circles, okay, and the package says 1.89 inches, which is 8 millimeters thick. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby. They were $2.99 for 6 of them, okay, but we're only going to use one today. You can use any kind of a ring that you want to. I just really like this one, all right? Now, some other things that you might need, you don't have to have, but you might need. This is called Desert Dry Foam, okay? And you can see there's 3 blocks in here, and we're just going to be using one of them. And what we'll do is we'll take that block from there, and I'll show you how to do this. We'll put it in a zip bag, and that will keep the inside of our basket from getting all this foam on it. And then we can use whatever florals that we want to use in our basket, and we can change those with the seasons. You can use fall colors in the fall, Christmas colors in Christmas, spring colors in spring, summer colors, whatever colors that you want. And you can even just go with greenery. Totally up to you. I just grabbed a bunch that I have. I found this one the other day. Look at this. This is a butterfly that's on with a flower. Isn't that pretty? It's a monarch butterfly. And I thought it went really well with the colors. All right. And so, but don't worry. I'm going to show you how to do all of this, and you're going to end up with a really beautiful and easy project. Before we get started with our pattern, I wanted to show you how I'm using 2 strands of yarn, pulling from 1 skein of yarn. And so what I'm doing is I'm pulling one from the center and one from the outside. You can, if you want to, roll it into 2 balls if that's easier. But I just like to do it this way. I think it works good, and I don't have to unravel it and re-roll it up. So we're going to be starting in the middle, and we're basically making a big granny square. All right? So we're going to start. We're holding 2 strands together. We're making our slip knot. We're going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to join this into a circle. And we'll tie that stay knot. Now, if you prefer another method, to make your beginning circle, you certainly can do that. So we went in and chained 3. And now we're going to stitch 11 double crochets, so we have a total of 12. And I am stitching over my tail of yarn. And when you're stitching with 2 strands, you're going to have to kind of pull it out a little bit. And what I mean by that is go like this, kind of pull. Make sure those 2 strands are together, nothing's gaping or drooping. And by holding 2 strands of the medium weight number 4 together, this is going to form a nice sturdy basket for our flowers. Or greenery, whatever you want to put in there. I don't suggest putting real flowers in there unless you put like a cup or something in there to hold water. And you could do that. You could put it in a plastic bag and then put the flower container in there. All right, let's get some more yarn out here. All right, let's see how many I've stitched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Whoops, got a string there. There we go. All right, so we stitched a chain 3, which counted as our first, and then, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our chain 3 and 11 double crochets. We're going to join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch. All right, now we're going to turn this over, give this just a gentle tug, and you can wait till the end to weave this in, but this beginning one I always like to go ahead and do it. I'm going to pull that out so I don't lose my loop there. And you can see I'm using a bigger needle, and I've got both strands of yarn going through there. And we're just going to go forward a few stitches and back. Just back and forth, trying to go through fibers and loops of yarn. And again, you can do this at the end if you want. I just like doing it at the beginning. You can see I lost one of those. I got to get that in there. There we go. And we'll give that a clip. And now I don't have to worry about it. All right, so for row 1, we have 12 double crochets, and we joined to our chain 3. All right, let's do row 2. Now, for row 2, we're going to slip stitch in between the chain 3 and the next double crochet. So we're going to slip stitch and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This chain 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1. And now we're going to double crochet in that same space. So now what we're going to do is we're going to basically stitch a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet between each of our double crochet stitches. So we'll go between and stitch a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in between each of our double crochet stitches. So we're not stitching in the double crochet, we're stitching between. All right, so we're going to do this between each of the double crochets, working all the way around. A double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And we'll repeat this all the way around and join back to our chain 3. So one more time, some more yarn there. We're stitching between, stitching a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in between each of our double crochet stitches around. So I have completed this. I stitched a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in between each of our double crochet stitches. So that gives us 12 sets of those double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All right, so we're going to join to the third chain of that beginning chain 4 with a slip stitch, and now we're going to slip stitch in that chain 1 space and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this chain 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet in that chain 1 space and then chain 1. So now we're going to go to the next chain 1 space and stitch the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then chain 1. So we're stitching similar to what we did on row 2. We're stitching those V stitches, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, only now we're stitching a chain 1 in between each of those. And of course we're stitching them in the chain 1 spaces. All right, so I chained 1, I'll go in the next chain 1 space, stitch a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in that chain 1 space and chain 1, and repeat to the next chain 1 space. And see how that looks? All right, so what we're doing for row 3 is we're stitching a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in each of the chain 1 spaces and chain 1. And we'll repeat this working all the way around, and again join back to that third chain of our beginning chain 4. I have completed row 3. We stitched double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 in each of the chain 1 spaces, so we have 12 sets of those. All right, so here's my chain 1. I'm going to join to the third chain of my beginning chain 4. Now we're going to go in that chain 1 space and chain 3. Not 4, chain 3. All right, we're going to double crochet in that chain 1 space, then chain 1 and 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And chain 1. So now what we're doing is we're going to form our 4 corners. So we're going to go to the next chain 1 space and stitch 2 double crochets. 1 and 2 and chain 1. Now we'll go to the next chain 1 space and stitch 2 double crochets. 1 and 2 and chain 1. So we've stitched our first corner, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, then we chain 1, 2 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, 2 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. So now in the next chain 1 space we're going to stitch a corner. So 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And chain 1. And now we'll just repeat what we just did over here. 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1, get out some more yarn here, 2 double crochets, and chain 1. All right, and so you can see now we've formed our first corner, our first side, our second corner, and our second side, and we're going to repeat this 2 more times. I have completed row 4. We have our 4 corners, and on the sides we have 2 sets of chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1. So we have 2 sets of those 2 double crochets. So here's my chain 1. We're going to join to the chain 3, with a slip stitch. We'll slip stitch in the double crochet and then slip stitch in the chain 1 space and chain 3. Okay, so now we're going to double crochet because our chain 3 counts as 1. Then chain 1. Let's get some more yarn out here. There we go. And then 2 double crochets. And so our corners are always going to be the same. 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go to the chain 1 space between those sets and stitch 2 double crochets. 1, whoops, got to keep both those loops on the hook. There we go. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, because now we're stitching in the chain 1 spaces between the 2 sets of double crochets, basically the way we do a regular granny square. And so we're going to have 3 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 1. All right, so we have our corner, we chained 1, and then we have 3 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 1. And remember, we went in the chain 1 spaces between the 2 sets. All right, and chain 1. Now we're going to do another corner. So we'll go to the chain 1 space and stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1, and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and chain 1. And now we'll do what we did on this other side of our square. Okay, so we'll go to that chain 1 space and stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1. Let's get a little more yarn out here. There we go. And 2 double crochets and chain 1. Alrighty, let's flatten that out so we can take a look at it. So now what our repeat is for these next 2 sides is our corner, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 sets of 2 double crochets, chain 1. And we'll repeat that on these next 2 sides. I have completed those 2 sides, and so row 5 is finished except where I need to join. And you'll see that we have our 4 corners and then 3 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 1. All right, so here's my last chain 1. We're going to join to that chain 3 with a slip stitch. Now we're going to slip stitch in that next double crochet and then slip stitch in the chain 1 space and chain 3. And so once we're at this point, it's super easy because we're going to basically be going around and around the way we do a granny square, and you'll be increasing every row. All right, so we'll stitch 2 double crochets, chain 1, and again our chain 3 counted as our first, 1 and 2. So there's our corner, and the corners are always worked the same, and then chain 1, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 1 spaces, and we'll put 2 double crochets, chain 1 in each of those chain 1 spaces. All righty. I will tell you, if your project is curling up on you, then you need to loosen your tension a little bit, maybe go up a hook size, okay, because it shouldn't be all rolling in on you. Now I do pull it out like this to make it flat and everything, but it should not be curling up on you, okay? So we stitched our first corner, chain 1, and then we did 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 1. All right, so now I'm at my next corner. And the corners, as I stated, are always the same. 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. All right, then chain 1, and now we're going to repeat on this side what we did over here. So we have our chain 1, and we'll stitch 2 double crochets, chain 1 in each of those 4 chain 1 spaces. Sorry about the scratchy throat today. I took a Zyrtec so my nose wouldn't run. So my nose isn't running, but my throat is scratchy. Oh well. All right, so now, there we go. Don't forget that last chain 1. All right, so we stitched our first corner, 4 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 1, corner, 4 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then we'll repeat that on these last 2 sides. I have completed row 6. We have our 4 corners, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of our 2 double crochet, chain 1s. I joined to my chain 3. I slip stitched in the next double crochet, slip stitched in the chain 1 space, and chain 3. And so now what you're going to do for 6 more rows is you're just going to repeat what we did on row 6, increasing every row. And that will get you up to row 12. All right, so we're going to repeat row 6, increasing every row, and you're going to repeat that 6 more times. I have completed those 6 additional rows. This makes a large 17 by 17 inch square. All right, once we join with the slip stitch to our chain 3 double crochet and then slip stitch in our chain 1 space, we only chain 1 because the next row that we're going to do is a single crochet row. So we're at that corner. We're going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet in this chain 1 space. Now we're going to single crochet in the 2 double crochets and then single crochet in the chain 1 space. And this is what we'll do all the way across. Single crochet in each of the double crochets and single crochet in the chain 1 space, working all the way across, keeping our yarns together, of course, until we reach that next corner. All right, so single crochet in each of the double crochets and single crochet in each of the chain 1 spaces across. I have single crocheted all the way across. Again, 1 single crochet in our chain 1 spaces, 1 single crochet in each of our double crochets. So that brings me to the next corner. And again, we're going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet in that corner chain 1 space. And then again, single crochet in each of the double crochets and single crochet in the chain 1 spaces. And then we'll repeat this, working all the way around all 4 sides of our square. So we stitched a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in that next corner, and then again I single crocheted in each of the double crochets and chain 1 spaces across. All right, and so now we're going to repeat what we did here on these last 2 sides and then join back to our first single crochet. I have now single crocheted around my whole square. Okay. We joined to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and I pulled my loop just a little bit so it doesn't come out, because now we're going to form the shape of our basket. All right, and so what you're going to do is you're going to put two corners together here. All right, and then we're going to slip stitch down and slip stitch back up, and then we'll grab the next corner and do the same thing. Down and back up. And we're basically forming an envelope. All right, so let's start on this side. All right, so we're going to fold this up. I'm going to turn it so I can crochet on it. And we're going to slip stitch down and then slip stitch back up. All right, so we're going to go through the first stitch here. Find the first stitch on this side. There we go. And we're going to slip stitch. Lining everything up. We're stitching them together. Going through those stitches. Almost there. Alrighty, just a couple more stitches. There we go. All right, now we're going to chain one. I'm going to turn it the other way. And we're just going to go in those two center stitches. And slip stitch back up. This way we don't have to cut our yarn, because we're going to do the same thing on this other side. All right, so I'm just going to slip stitch back up the center, and it also forms like a cute little braid there that gives it a little extra texture. I slip stitched back up just using those center loops, and you can see that makes a nice sturdy little braid there. And now we're going to do the other side and do the exact same thing. All right, so we're going to line this up. We're going to go through the top of those two and slip stitch. You want to make sure to pull that first stitch nice and tight. There we go. And now we're just going to repeat on this side what we did on the other side. Slip stitch down and slip stitch back up. So we slip stitch down and back up, and we've made an envelope, and we have these beautiful, nice, thick braids. So now what we're going to do is we're going to keep going this direction, and we're going to slip stitch all the way up to this corner, and then we're going to attach our wooden ring and then slip stitch all the way back down here. All right. So we're just going in each of those single crochets and slip stitch. And this does two things. It gives us a nice pretty edge, but also it's reinforcing the edge so it can hold the weight of the beautiful flowers that we want to put inside. All right, so I'm just going to slip stitch up to that top corner, and then I'll show you how to add your ring. I have slip stitched all the way up until I have 6 stitches at the top. We want to add our ring, and we're going to be using single crochet stitches going through the ring, okay? On those 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, I'm going to lay this out here so you can see, because we're going to flip this up and hang it up on that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip it back down now just to get it out of the way. And now I'm just going to go to the next stitch and start slip stitching again, moving back down the side of our hanging basket, and we'll stitch all the way back down here and join here. I have slip stitched all the way back down to the center of our basket here, and I'm going to just slip stitch to that first slip stitch and cut my yarn. And now I just grab my needle. Let's tie this off. And I'll just grab my needle and weave this in. The basket itself is pretty much done. Now comes all the fun decorating ideas. Remember, you can do spring, summer, winter, fall, birthdays, anniversaries, housewarming parties. These are great gifts and also great to keep for yourself because, yep, I'm going to keep this one. Alrighty, let me weave this in, get this finished up, and I'll show you how I'm going to decorate mine. So the first thing I did is I took one of my blocks out of the box that I bought. There's 3 in here. It's 2.6 inches by 3.4 inches by 7.8 inches. That's the size that I bought because I wanted it to fit down inside. Okay, now I put it in this plastic bag because I know that these are very messy. And so I'm going to put this down inside. I'm going to roll this down though a little bit, because I'm going to put my flowers in here to stick in this, but I don't want this messing up the inside of my hanging basket. And that's a neat idea to do because when you're changing flowers, it won't mess things up, okay? So let me grab my flowers. So I have quite a few different kinds. I've got some poppies here and some daisies and little white ones. And this one here with the butterfly, I want it to be up front. So I'm going to put that in last. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these and just start putting them in. Now you can tuck this under so it won't be seen. And just put them in however you want to arrange them. All right, so I put all my flowers in. I went ahead and used them all. Here's the one with the butterfly. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and these are all ones you can buy at the Dollar Tree or at Walmart. Actually, I think I got some of these at Ollie's now that I think about it. So the only thing left that it needs is a bow. And so I found this pretty black bow. And you're going to go in the holes that are right there on the side. And this would look nice with a bright yellow bow too, but I really like this black one. And so I'm going to, because it has polka dots. And the truth is you can change your bows out for all the different holidays as well. Well, I didn't tie that very even. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. There we go. You don't have to add a bow if you don't want to. I just think it adds a fun last touch. I've got some sunflowers in my bathroom also. I should make one of these and put sunflowers and hang it in my bathroom. That would be so pretty in my little guest bathroom. All right, so now it has a bow. Okay, and this is a fun door hanging basket. And it's up to you what flowers you want to put inside of it. Christmas poinsettias. You can do all fall colors in the fall. And since you can change these for every holiday, that's why I chose to go with this gold yarn, because it looks like a basket and it will go for any holiday, whether it's fall, spring, winter, Christmas. Thanksgiving, whatever you're celebrating, you can change out your colors and have a beautiful fall basket. Isn't that gorgeous? It's easy, it's fun, and it's beautiful.